I'm Kim Myles. I am the creator, executive producer, and star of High Design, which is a design travel show that makes over cannabis dispensaries. I'm the co-founder of Myles Moore with my partner Kelly Moore. We dedicate our design practice to cannabis, and I am a founding board member of the Cannabis Media Council. So interior design is in my blood. I was the kid that was like rearranging my bedroom when I was 12 to like mix it up. So I have always done it. It became something that I did professionally on television in 2007 for HGTV, where I had my show Miles of Style, and I had that for 3 seasons. And I spent all of my time making over space on television. While I was making over space on television, I was hitting my dispensaries. And as I was hitting my dispensaries, it made no sense to me that I was dropping serious coin in trash fire spaces. It did not connect. And I looked around the waiting rooms and the diversity of the clientele. It's me, it's an 80-year-old guy with a walker, it's the 60-year-old real estate woman dripping in diamonds, and it's the party kids going camping. Like, it's all of us. So why am I in a space that feels like somebody's freaking basement? Like, this is weird. There was a huge disconnect and a huge opportunity. So I felt like, look, I'm going to create what I want. I will be my own answer. I don't like these dispensaries, and so I'm gonna travel around America and make them better. I was a DARE officer. Back in the day, I truly believed in the drug-free life. Womp womp. And then when I was 20, I found cannabis. Felt like meeting God. My cannabinoid receptors received the thing they had been missing. It was instantly a life changer. Chronic anxiety that I had lived with, chronic insomnia, were gone. And that, I feel like it was such a gift. What I like to say is, you will pry my joint out of my cold, dead hand. That's when I'll give it up, is when I'm through this life. It's not only been great for my health, but it has been great for my business. It's been great for my professional life, whether my professional life is in the cannabis sector or in the television sector. There has been no drawback. So I'm a super fan. Trends are so interesting. I have been consuming cannabis for so long, but when I decided I wanted to make over spaces, it wasn't enough for me to know that I did it for TV. I felt like, no, I needed to really know. So I took a year out of my career and I worked in cannabis. And I started as a bud tender and I moved all the way up to management so that I could really understand, what are the pain points? What is this retail environment? Because it is not the same as other retail environments. It's very specific, it has specific needs, right? And at the time that I was getting into it, the trend was everybody wanted it to look like an Apple store. Apple store, clean, spotless, clinical. I'm happy to report. That was the beginning. It made sense in order to elevate the plant, but I feel like now people are really plugging into their story, to the niche boutique story. The thing that is missing in most dispensaries is any thought toward design. Because what was missing is that over and over I'd walk into a shop that was run by beautiful human beings, and they offered great product, beautiful, clean, flower, sun-grown, gorgeous offerings in a space that felt like I was a criminal. Right? It was gray, it was sad, it was thrown together with yard sale furniture, catch as can. The thing that was missing was that each of these brands had been unable to translate their mission into a sticky retail environment. Knowing the whole community, not just the cannabis people, is what's gonna give you roots that allows you to pull in nutrients to your business. And I know that's not a paint color, but I'm telling you, it might be more important, and I say that as an interior designer. And when you are small to medium, when you're not an MSO, being thoughtful, being focused, honing in on what your offering is, and having that be very well connected and identified with the community you're serving, that's going to give you longevity in the long run. Community first. So really think about your origin story. You know, the people that come to our firm come to us to help them amplify their mission, right? And to visually amplify that in a retail space, to make that connection. If you can't afford to hire an interior designer, the thing to think about is your origin story. Just think about it like marvel. Your origin story is your superpower. There is a seed in there that makes you different, that differentiates you. How you came to the plant, how you came to the business, whatever it is, the more detail, the better. That makes you unique. It turns you into a unique offering. Functional space. Creating that function, then you can get into the form. And the form can take its cue from the DNA of your origin story, right? It isn't enough anymore to pop up a cannabis leaf mural and throw some neon on it. Everybody's doing that. The Cannabis Media Council is the first trade council dedicated to deprogramming the war on plants. So think about PSAs through the age. This is your brain on drugs. We all know that PSA. That's what we do. National PSAs, but pro-weed. So we are flipping the script, changing the narrative, and creating, obviously, a shift in how people see the plant, because the media, that is a powerful spotlight. We know we can change the story, but the other part of the mission is creating an environment where all of us can thrive, where all of the businesses can do businesses without the red tape, without the headaches of federal prohibition. That's what we're trying to change, because if we can change hearts and minds, the rest of the business is gonna follow. We know this, and everybody can rise, right? It's the rising tide lifts all boats. What I always say is, for anybody that doubts the power of cannabis, if you have an elder who is treating anything at all using Advil, they are a person who should try a gummy. Just switch out that one thing. When it's just simple pain and inflammation, just try a gummy, microdose 2.5. Just see how that does. Watch how that doesn't turn you into a burnout. Watch how that doesn't ruin your life. I think something that's really universal for all of us that are in this work is that we have a personal relationship to the plant. We know what a game changer it can be. And so being the guide to this older generation to bring them into the fold, the other piece is they have a lot of money to spend. They have a lot of money to spend. We want them in supporting this industry so that we can grow it. Some of the specific advertisements of, I'm high right now, our program, we have characters. So we have identified archetypes. People who maybe aren't thinking that they're the ones for cannabis, but my favorite is called The Lovers. And it is an older couple who are ready to get down and dirty and get it on, and have questions about cannabis and how cannabis can affect your sex life. Yes. It's so good. It's so fun. It's so interesting. It's a question that honestly, when I was on the floor in the dispensary, I got all the time. All the time, people asking about lube, suppository, but I mean, it is a common question, so much demand, right? So leading with that, leading with the lovers, giving information, showing them this beautiful couple looking sassy, getting ready to, get fancy with each other, with their questions, with the answers. As we approach federal deregulation, yes, Cannabis Media Council will continue to grow. We will continue to seek partners and sponsors and continue to be a voice in the space. A trade council in that space for the industry. We want to be a place where people come for trusted information, for trusted connections, for trusted network, so that we are creating something that is giving real utility and real value to our industry. I want to see all the cannabis content. I want to see every kind of piece of cannabis content. As an executive producer, as somebody who creates content in the cannabis realm, I want to see stories, really individual stories. I want to see, right now, what we have a lot of the time, what my show was more of an overview, an intro to people who maybe want to see behind the curtain of what it is to run a dispensary. What does that really look like? My goal was meet these people. These are not stoners in any way that you would recognize. These are hard-ass working entrepreneurs who are making something happen, and they're doing it for family. They're doing it for themselves. They believe in this. They're doing it for their community, right? So the stories within that mission are rich and so diverse.